So, what you think?
I mean, I look at it like this. I look at it like it's way deeper than even just talking about mental health. Mental health, it goes into our epigenetics. It goes into our inherent, like our genealogy, the things that you think of a situation that and we'll just start with us. Let's just start with some of the trauma that I went through. Let's just start with some of the trauma that I went through as a young child. Some of the things that traumatized me. Those things will live inside of my great grandkids. That hypervigilance, that defiance, that thing that lived in my great grandfather was, of course, transferred to my mother. And I'm just speaking from my situation. My mother, when she was pregnant with me, beat up the school bully when she was pregnant with me. So all of that feeling, all of that hypervigilance that was in my mother, that was in my grandfather, that lives in me, which lives in my daughters, which lives in my kids. So when we're talking about mental health, we're not just talking about a situation where we're saying, hey, you just having a bad day, you need to go to a therapist. We're talking about generations of, if you're a young black male, you got 15 generations deep. And I do a lot of research. I watch a lot of information, and it's saying that if we go back 500 years, we have, every single person has over 1,400,000 people that goes back into their genealogy.
Let me ask you a question, because that's deep and it makes perfect sense. Just like when they say a mother's pregnant with her child, right? And whatever that mom is going through, that baby is gonna feel it, right? Anxiety, depression, whatever, that violence, whatever it is. Let me ask you this: if we're born, when we're in the womb, and we're talking about generations back and cycles being broken, and that's not there, it's going to be the exact opposite. Correct? So mental health, what I'm getting at is mental health to me starts with breaking cycles in certain generations and going forward, and then training your kids, because like you said, when you go back, it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff that, it's in us. It's already in us. But when you're aware that it's in you, now it's up to us to teach Aiden, to teach Damien, to teach Kendall, to keep all of them
back. So it's like mental health is, what I believe is this. I believe that when it comes to mental health, you have to start going inward. And like people say, you got to understand. No, you got to understand. You got to really understand who you are, because when you start focusing on who you are and what you like and what you don't like. And see, I'm going to be honest, Dub. I learned that shit from you, bro, when we was 20, 21 years old. You would be like this. You'd be like this. You'd be like, yeah, man, I ain't had no sex in like 2 years. Motherfucker, what?
Nigga, it was 1 year.
No, what I'm saying is, but you would self-regulate yourself.
Yeah, most definitely. You had to.
Man, I ain't eating meat. Like, you ain't ate meat in 7 years. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying is, that's why I always can say, like, when I would talk to you, man, I'm on my dub shit. Like, meaning I self-regulate. That's mental health. Mental health is, you know what? I don't like that shit. I agree with myself, and I'm willing to take the consequences that come with that. And I feel like in the world now, mental health is being adopted by, dare I say, soft shit.
Okay, so check this out. Here's an example of mental health that everybody in the black community is probably gonna stone me for. But mental health, Thanksgiving, what you eat? Collard greens, sweet potatoes, sweet potato pies, all the worst stuff that you could eat. Tastes great, grew up on it, love it. If I put it in my mouth today, it's gonna melt and it's gonna be good. But it's killing us.
Yes, it is.
Cycle after cycle, year after year, generation after generation, y'all keep doing the same thing and it's killing you. that's an example. That's just a simple example of mental health and how you just keep repeating that same cycle and it's just killing you.
And
because it's good.
I'm gonna say it like this. And like I said, I'm not no scholar yet because I am gonna take those steps to become one.
Yeah.
I just know what I know because I'm 42 years old and I've been living my life. If you love your oppressor, no matter what that is,
yeah, exactly.
That's a mental illness.
Oh, yeah.
I just know what I know because I'm 42 years old and I've been living my life. If you love your oppressor, no matter what that is,
yeah, exactly.
That's a mental illness.
Oh man.
You mentioned age. At what age do you feel like someone should start coming in tune with identifying where they're at, what they're doing?
I'll be honest, when I say this, and I say this to a lot of young men, just because you become a legal adult at 18 years old, you're pretty much a teenager. I believe that every man, you don't really become a man where it's like, and don't get me wrong, people grow up faster and mature faster, but you really don't start understanding like, I gotta have a sense of purpose until you get about 24, 25, and then you start being like, okay, all right, that's when you've grown out of your high school social circle. You're starting to look at the type of things that you want to do in your life. You start to position yourself. So I feel like when it comes to that, it comes to about 24, 25, sometimes 23, anywhere between 25 and 30 years old as a man. And I'm saying this as a man. You really start to understand, you really start seeing the patterns. Like, I remember I read about 100 books and I realized the pattern that, okay, it's basically telling me, you've read enough books, get your ass out there and make it happen.
Yeah.
Go create your own testimony.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, so for me, around 24, 25 is when I started realizing that if I don't keep putting myself in these uncomfortable positions of growth, I'm going to be stuck in the same place that I've been stuck in, or the same mindset. Because I look now, I'm 42 years old. There's a lot of people that I know that are still stuck in that same mindset between 18 and 25 that we were in. So I feel like for a man, at least anywhere between 24 and 30 years old, you just wake up one day and you realize that there is a purpose that you have to either find or live so you can be free and feel free within yourself.
For me, to give a precise moment in my life, I would say the moment I was responsible for other lives other than mine.
Oh yeah.
Is when I, that was the moment where it was like, you gotta get your shit all the way together.